Going into the NCAA tournament, we've learned to expect the unexpected. We have high hopes for the top draft prospects. It's usually the guys that go to smaller schools or who don't appear on mock drafts that enter the spotlight and grab our attention. There have been no shortage of surprises this year, so in today's video, I'm going to be highlighting the early breakout stars of March Madness. Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,500 subscribers by the end of the season, and your support goes a long way. With all that being said, let's get into the video. The first player I want to talk about is Jermaine Couisnard. Couisnard's college career has been filled with ups and downs. He began his career at South Carolina, where he made the SEC All-Freshman team. However, he's had to deal with nagging injuries and personal matters. In 2020, Couisnard lost his best friend due to gun violence, and in 2021, his mom was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. This was a lot for Couisnard to deal with, so much so that he considered stepping away from basketball. Ultimately, he didn't, and after finishing his junior year at South Carolina, he transferred to Oregon in 2022 with 2 years of eligibility remaining. In his first season with Oregon, Couisnard only played in 19 games and the team missed the NCAA tournament. This year has been much better though, as Couisnard played in every game, ranked second on the team in scoring, and helped Oregon return to March Madness. As fate would have it, Oregon was set to play South Carolina in the first round. Playing against his old team provided enough motivation for Couisnard, but when his former teammates started trash-talking him in the first half, Couisnard took his game to another level. In the second half, he had 26 points on 8 of 13 shooting, finishing with 40 points overall. This was the highest scoring performance for an Oregon player in tournament history. Unfortunately, Oregon was just eliminated by Creighton, but for Couisnard to finish his career in the Oregon record books against his old team makes for quite the story. Speaking of great stories, Jaden Ledee had one of the more unique ones coming into the tournament. When San Diego State made their run to the national championship last year, Ledee was a solid rotation player averaging just under 8 points in 18 minutes per game. Given that he was 23 years old though, Ledee didn't appear to have much more room to grow. However, with more opportunity this year, he's increased his scoring average by over 13 points, doing so on improved efficiency. Ledee's scoring ability was on full display in round 1 of the tournament as he dropped 32 points on just 18 shots. Ledee is a physical player that knows how to carve out space in the paint, and he can hit shots in the mid-range as well. Given his age and lack of a three-point shot, I'm not sure if Ledee has a future in the NBA. Even still, his story alone makes him a player to watch. There aren't many guys who have gone from a role player on a contender to the star player on a contender from one year to the next, especially this late in their college career. San Diego State will be favored in their next game against Yale, and if they win that and get to the Sweet 16, anything can happen. Jaden Ledee wasn't a huge name prior to the tournament, but with how much he's ascended as a player, it will be interesting to see how far he can take this San Diego State team. Another incredible story has been that of Tyon Grant Foster. Prior to joining Kansas as a junior, he played 2 years at Indian Hills Community College. As a senior, he transferred to DePaul, but that's when tragedy struck. In the first game of the season, Grant Foster experienced cardiac arrest at halftime. About a year later, he collapsed once again during a pickup basketball game, leading to his second heart surgery. At that point, there was a belief that he'd never be able to play basketball again. However, Grant Foster stayed patient, and in March of 2023, he was cleared to play by doctors. 1 month later, he committed to play at Grand Canyon for the 23-24 season. With his new team, Grant Foster has shown tons of two-way ability. On the year, he scored nearly 20 points per game while averaging 1.7 steals and 1.4 blocks as well. He's been Grand Canyon's best player, and he continued his great play during March Madness. Against St. Mary's, Grant Foster had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, leading Grand Canyon to their first NCAA tournament win in school history. While this alone was amazing, I think this performance could draw the attention of NBA scouts as well. At 24, Grant Foster is an old college player, but the talent is clearly there. He and Grand Canyon will match up with Alabama next, and if they pull off the upset, it will only add to what is already a great comeback story for Tyon Grant Foster. While all of these stories were great, none of them were as shocking as the rise of Jack Golke. Prior to this season, Golke played Division II basketball at Hillsdale College. He received his accounting degree in 2023, but because he played during the COVID-19 pandemic, Golke received an extra year of eligibility from the NCAA. With that extra year, Golke wanted to pursue a master's degree in business. The problem was that Hillsdale didn't offer that degree. As a result, Golke transferred to Oakland University not only for his master's, but for the opportunity to compete at the D1 level. Even though he was going from D2 to D1, Golke fit in seamlessly at Oakland. He became the team's three-point specialist, averaging 12.8 points per game and helping the team win their conference tournament. Winning the conference tournament granted Oakland an automatic bid in the NCAA tournament, but they weren't expected to accomplish anything. Oakland was representing the Horizon Conference, which was considered one of the weaker conferences in college basketball. Because they hadn't played the toughest competition during the year, their inclusion in March Madness caused some controversy. Prior to Oakland's first-round matchup with Kentucky, the commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, shared his thoughts on March Madness. Sankey said, "We are giving away highly competitive opportunities for automatic qualifiers, and I think that pressure is going to rise as we have more competitive basketball leagues at the top end because of expansion." Ultimately, this just shows how greedy Sankey is, as the SEC was the most represented conference across the men's and women's tournaments. With that being said, it was a perfect story for Jack Golke, a 4-year D2 player, to drop 32 points and lead his small conference school over an SEC powerhouse in Kentucky. Golke has seen his Instagram following rise from 500 followers before the tournament to nearly 50,000 as I'm recording this video. He started selling his own merch, doing ad reads for TurboTax, and making the most of all the media attention he's been getting. Even though Oakland lost to NC State, nobody is going to forget what Jack Golke did, making him the best story of March Madness so far. Anyways, that's going to be all for today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. With all of that being said, I'm out, and I'll see you in the next video.